Dear friends, I'm back with another machine on the Vulnhub, which is C# VulnJson. The link will be added into the description section below so that you can download it. If you want to find the walkthrough for this machine, here it is. I think you cannot find it anywhere else. Before we start, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You are greatly appreciated. So enough said, let's just get started. We can switch into the Kali Linux VM. As you can see over here, maybe I can zoom in the terminal so you can see what's going on. First of all, we need to discover the IP address by 2, like net discover. As you can see over here, the IP address of the target has been identified as 254. Then, what we are going to do next is to do the port scanning with a map. To save time of this video, I've already done the map scanning earlier. As you can see, I used the options like scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, and then -p- to do the comprehensive scan, followed by the uppercase PN, not to do the live testing for the target. And then use the option of ON to output the result into this file. The IP address has been changed from the first when I did the machine first time. So from the map scanning, we can tell that the target has only one open port, which is 80 running HTTP service, and also the version information, Apache 2. So what we are going to do next is to do enumeration both manually and automatically for the HTTP service. Let's launch our browser to do the enumeration manually first. Let's put the IP address of the target into the address bar. Yeah, I need to refresh the page. As you can see, we are prompted by the form like create user and also can list users. Here we just list users, click this button, we got the name, what the Bobby. And also you can delete the user. And we need, as usual, we need to check the source code of this page. Yeah, I think there's some JavaScript code. At this moment, I will not delve into the JavaScript code here. And also we need to check whether this target has robots file. Not found. Next, we can use Ligato. When we deal with the web application, I think this is a must. We need to use the Ligato to do the web application from a variety of aspects. For example, like server information, the header information, and also common files or directories. In this case, a bin. This might be interesting. Of course, we can take a look at this directory. Bin. Bin. Yeah, there's some files. I think this is the dynamic link library. I don't think I like to delve into or download such files onto the Kali Linux. So we just put aside for a while, and then we need to do the directory enumeration with GoBuster. With option of W to specify the word list. If you have already followed my channel, I always use the GoBuster word list as the first word list to make enumeration. Again, the bin. Of course, Ligato has already identified this directory earlier. We'll let it run to see whether we can find anything else in terms of directories or, Yeah, nothing more we can get from the GoBuster. So I think we have already done almost everything for the web application. What else do we have to do next? It's time to go back to the browser and go to the home page. So maybe here we can create a user and use the Burp Suite to intercept the request to see whether this form has or this page has SQL injection vulnerability. Let's do that. So I think from this perspective, we can know I'd like to tell this machine is a very good one because it covers a variety of techniques. The most important technique is Burp Suite and the SQL map. And next, I'd like to demonstrate how to combine the technique of the SQL map and Burp Suite. We need to set the proxy to Burp Suite, so all traffic will go through the configured proxy. In this case is Burp Suite. Then we need to launch the Burp Suite. Of course, I got the community edition, which doesn't matter. Click next, start up Burp Suite. And then we need to make sure the proxy option is on. And we can fill in the fields, for example, like username Bob, password 123, age 11. We just input some random message. And then we can click create user. As you can see, we got the request. So from the payload, the body, we can tell that the JSON data is employed in the request. I think, of course, if you don't know about this, it doesn't matter. We can copy this request and save this request to our Kali Linux. We can use name req.txt, save. And I think we can set the intercept to be off and the proxy disable. Then we can use or launch SQL map with option R to specify the request file. And the level, normally I will set to 3. Let's press enter. Yeah, JSON data found in post body. Do you want to process it? Of course. As you can see, the SQL map utility has identified the backend DBMS as post grease circle. Do you want to skip? Of course, I want to skip test payloads for other DBMS. Yeah, the parameter username appears to be Boolean-based blind. Do you want to keep testing the others? No, I do not need to do. So the result can confirm this target has SQL injection vulnerability. Next, we need to do immersion with the database. For example, we can use option of DBS to retrieve the database's information available on the target. There is just only one database available on the target. And then we can use option of uppercase D to specify the database name and tables. Yeah, only one table with this database, public. And then we can use option of T, specify the use table name, and dump. Dump option can allow us to dump all data from this table, users. Yeah, it's now retrieved some data from the table. Of course, from the description, the only goal for us is to exploit the SQL injection vulnerability. However, I will not stop here. I want to get the initial foothold or get shell on the target, then escalate our privilege. So this is the reason why I mentioned at the very beginning, if you want to get the complete walkthrough for this machine, here it is. You cannot find it anywhere else. I think it's almost done. So many data inside this table. Of course, most of them are useless. Because such information cannot lead to exploitation or furthermore exploitation. Although we can dump or retrieve data from the database on the target. However, I'd like to showcase how to get the initial foothold on the target. If we deal with the web application, the SQL map is the utility we must grasp, because in almost every web application, there will be a database running at the background. For example, like MySQL, Oracle, or many others. Although nowadays it would be a bit difficult for us to find or detect SQL injection vulnerability. However, such vulnerability is still there. It's still available on many web applications. So as a professional pen tester, we must sharpen this skill. Yeah, I think so far I have already demonstrated how to use different option or argument like D, uppercase D, to specify the database name, and then tables. It means that we want to retrieve all available tables for this database. All right, I will not wait. I think it's clear the SQL map can dump data from the target. So, of course, just I mentioned earlier, I will not stop here. I'd like to get the initial foothold. And the option, we can use the same utility SQL map. And however, we need to use different option OS shell. As you can see, we can run the command. As you can see, we can get the UID, and also we can run command like which nc netcat to know whether the netcat is there. So I think so far we can run the command. However, I don't like this sort of shell. This is the OS shell provided by the SQL map. I'd like to spawn the normal shell. So how to do? To be honest, I tried several ways. However, none of them can work. And next, to save time, I'd like to show you the correct one. Okay? And how to do? You can get the command from the Pentest Monkey website. And we can create the shell script. I'd like to open another tab. And we can copy this command. And we can use lim shell bin bash. And the bash write and quit. Then we need to set up the web server on the Kali Linux and go back to the OS shell provided by the SQL map. We can run Q and the IP address of the Kali Linux shell sh and tunnel to bash. Before we press enter, we need to set up the listener first. Now we just hit enter. As you can see, we got the normal shell. We can check the Python. Python 2 is there. Import pty module bash. And next, we need to do some local immersion to elevate our privilege. Perry. Nothing there, right? So next, I think we can upload the NumPy shell script to do the automatic immersion. And we can open another tab. We can copy the NumPy shell script to the current working directory. And then we can use wget NumPy. And then we can make it executable to run this shell script. During stage of privilege escalation, in most cases, we need to use the NumPy shell script to do the automatic immersion because it can automatically retrieve a lot of information about the target. Okay, it's done. And we can scroll up to see whether we can find the vectors which allow us to elevate our privilege. And such vector will be highlighted in yellow and red. Capabilities information, SUID binary information. The cron job information, process information, unfortunately, we cannot find any other types of vectors except this one, except the local exploit. Of course, you can download each exploit to try to exploit. However, just I mentioned in the other video, if there are local exploits available on the target, before we try to manually exploit such vulnerability, we can attempt to use the Metasploit to make such exploitation. Okay, to do that, we need to create the payload with MSF Vuln. Okay, so we can use MS Vuln. And so what's the architecture of the target? We can use ulim, x64. So we can change the architecture to x64, and the format is ELF for the Linux machine, and output to this file. And then we need to upload this payload. We can use wget. And similarly, we need to make it executable. Before we hit enter, we need to set up the handler. First, we can launch Metsprite console. We can use exploit multi-handler. And then we need to set a payload. The payload here should be the same as this one, this payload. When we create the payload with MSF Vuln, we can copy and paste in here. Then we can show options. We can set the local host to our Kali Linux. Set local port number. This port number must be the same as this one, 666. And then we can run this module. As you can see, the handler has started. Now we go back to this shell. We press enter. As you can see, the Metsprite session 1 opened. We can background this Metsprite session by pressing the key Control and Z. And then we search the suggester module and then use this module. This module can help us to identify the local exploit to elevate a privilege. We can set the session number to 1, and then we can run it. As you can see, it's collecting local exploits for the target. So why we need to use the Metsprite? Because the whole process is almost done automatically. For us, what we have to do is to make some configuration. We do not need to go to the browser, download the exploit, and also make some compilation. It's collecting exploit, and then can run a check method for discovered exploits to see each exploit is workable on this occasion. So for now, we just let it run and to see whether we can find appropriate module or exploit to elevate our privilege. The target is vulnerable. Of course, if the message is saying the target is vulnerable and this exploit is more preferable than other one, for example, like this one, because this one appears to be vulnerable. In other words, Metsprite, the suggest module, cannot confirm this exploit is workable for the target. So now we can use and we can copy the name of the path of this exploit. Then we can show options, set localhost to our Kali Linux, set local port number to default 1, and then set the session number to 1, because there is just only one available session, and we can run. the target is vulnerable and is uploading some payloads, writing and delete. As you can see, Metapret session 2 opened, which means that this module is working indeed. Okay, we can get the command shell session, then we can run like ID, and we can navigate to root directory. Of course, for this machine, we do not need to retrieve root flag. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day.